Well, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are keeping well. Today's video is part 5 of my makeup collection series. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys all of my drugstore concealers. And let's get started with today's video. And before that, if you've not subscribed to my channel already, please do like and share my videos. And let's get started with today's video. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the part 5 of my makeup collection series. These are all of my drugstore concealers. I counted them. There are a total of 20 concealers, which again is a bit too excessive, but since I use concealer a lot more than I use any foundations, having these many concealers is perfectly fine for me. Anyways, let's get started with the concealers. I have two color correctors to show you guys. This one is my LA Girl Pro Conceal Orange corrector, and this one is my K Beauty color correcting stick in the shade Peach. Now I don't think I have to say much about this product because it's a cult classic. It's a classic throughout the world. Literally each and every YouTuber has been raving about this product for I don't even remember how long, and I too am a fan of this product. When I'm going for a more heavier makeup look or a more full coverage kind of a makeup look, this is the product that I will go to for any color correcting on my face. And this is a blessing for those of you who have a medium to a deeper skin tone and who have a lot of pigmentation on their face. This product is a must if you're looking for that flawless makeup look, and I absolutely am in love with this product. This one I prefer for those no makeup days where I'm not looking for a lot of coverage. This product, you know, cancels out any darkness on your face in the most natural way possible, and it's a beautiful product. Again, it can be a bit drying if you have very dry skin, so make sure you prep your skin really well before you use this, and blending it with your fingers is the best way to blend this product out. Next, I have these 3 concealers. These 3 are concealers that do not match my skin. I bought a shade too light for my skin and these do not match me, so you might not have seen these on my channel quite often. The first one is my L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer, and I bought this one in the shade 307 Cashmere. This one is a bit too light for me. You can look up close. This is a bit too whitey for me, but the product itself is a beautiful product. Again, a cult classic. So many YouTubers have been raving about this for so many years now. It's a more fuller coverage concealer and can be a tad bit drying if you have very dry skin, so you either need to, you know, prep your skin really well, or you need to stay away from this concealer because it can be a tad bit heavy. But if you're looking for a flawless full coverage makeup, this is the product that you can go to and you will absolutely love it. Next one is my e.l.f. Camo Concealer Matte Finish in the shade again Light Beige. This one too is a bit too light for me. It looks pretty white on my face. This too is a full coverage concealer. It will give you a full coverage, a matte finish, and again it can be a tad bit drying if you have very dry skin, but otherwise it's a beautiful concealer. Next, I have my NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer in the shade CW02. This again is a bit too light for me. You can go in with 1 or 2 shades darker if you're my skin tone, but this too is a really nice concealer. It will give you a nice medium to a fuller coverage, but this is not super heavy or very cakey on the skin. It gives you a really nice finish and it looks beautiful on the skin nonetheless. Now coming on to the concealer that I use the most. This one is my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. Guys, I have completely used it up. I am literally scraping out any bits and parts of it that are left on the product, but I have completely used it up. I use mine in the shade C10. This again is a beautiful fuller coverage concealer if you're looking for something that will, you know, give you flawless full coverage without looking super heavy on the skin. This is a concealer that you can go to and you will not be disappointed with this product. Next, I have the cult classic, the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I use mine in the shade 25 medium. I mean, it's a cult classic, and for a good reason. It will give you a nice medium to a fuller coverage. You can build it up as much as you want to. It's a beautiful creamy concealer. It does not look heavy on the skin at all. It is not super drying or cakey on the skin. Just blends out beautifully and still looks just like your skin but better, and it's a beautiful concealer, and I absolutely am a fan of this formula from Maybelline. Next up, I have my Pack Take Cover Concealer, and I use mine in the shade, I think it was Sand Beige. There was a sticker on this which has worn off. But this one is a bit too yellow for my skin, but when you apply it on top of a color corrector and on top of your foundations, it looks beautiful. It blends out so stunningly, and I mean, it's a beautiful product. The formula is really nice. It is not heavy or cakey at all. It will definitely crease a lot if you have some fine lines on your under eyes, but once you set it, it will last you beautifully and will not go anywhere, and it's a beautiful concealer nonetheless. Next up, again one of the classics. This is my Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer in the shade medium peach, and again it's a cult classic. It has been one of my absolute favorites for so many years. This is the second tube of this concealer that I am using, and trust me, it's a beautiful concealer. It's super inexpensive as well. If you're looking for something that is very inexpensive and that will give you a nice medium to a fuller coverage without looking heavy or cakey or too matte on the skin, this is a concealer that you can go to, and trust me, you will not be disappointed. Next up, I have my Revlon Photo Ready Candid Concealer in the shade number 027, and just look at the doe foot. It's a nice bent from the center kind of a doe foot applicator. It again is a beautiful a very hydrating concealer. It will not dry out your under eyes or make them look cakey or patchy at all, and it's a really nice product. Blends out beautifully, looks just one with your skin, and it's a really beautiful product. Next up, I have my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer with a satin finish, and I use this one in the shade medium peach. This shade is a perfect match for my skin tone. If you're somebody with my skin tone and you're looking for a shade match, this is the perfect concealer for you. And I've talked about this concealer so many times on my channel. It's a beautiful concealer. It is the more hydrating version of this concealer, and this too will give you a full coverage without looking heavy or too drying or too matte on the skin. It blends out beautifully. It does not make your under eyes look cakey or cracked up or very patchy, and I just love the finish on this concealer. Next up, I have my LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer in the shade medium beige. Now this one is a bit darker for me. I should have gone with one shade lighter because this looks just exactly as my skin. Go for one shade lighter than this if you're my skin tone, and it will look beautiful. The formula is stunning. It has this brushed tip kind of an applicator and super easy to apply. It's super hydrating, very creamy and very buttery, and just blends out beautiful. Does not look heavy or cakey at all, and it hydrates your under eyes really beautifully. Next up, again a cult classic. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the shade medium. Again, you can see I have completely used it up. Mine is almost empty, just one or two uses more left out of this. It has this puff kind of an applicator on the top, and you need to twist it up and the product will come out on the top, and then you can apply it. It's a beautiful concealer again, guys. Very creamy, very hydrating on the under eyes. It does not look too drying on the under eyes. It does not look heavy or cakey at all, and it again just blends out stunningly on the skin, and it will give you a nice medium to a fuller coverage, and it's a cult classic for a reason, and I absolutely love this product. And next up, I have my Flower Beauty Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer, and I use mine in the shade light medium. It again has this nice elongated doe foot applicator. The formula is beautiful, super creamy, very hydrating. It will give you a medium to a fuller coverage. You can build it up if you want to, but it still looks super lightweight on the skin. It does not cake up or does not look too heavy on the under eyes. And again, a very beautiful hydrating formula. It's not a flat matte finish. It will give you a nice a hint of a dewiness on your under eyes. You can set it with the powder and it will not go anywhere. It lasts you beautifully, and I absolutely love this concealer. Next up, one of my all-time favorites. This is the K Beauty Hydrating Concealer in the shade 100 by Light. The doe foot on it is a tiny bend from the center kind of a doe foot, but it's a really nice doe foot. You can apply this concealer with so much ease, and it will look so beautiful and very hydrating and very skin-like on the skin. It does not look super heavy or super flat matte on the skin. It looks beautiful and it blends out just beautifully on the skin, and I absolutely love this concealer from K Beauty. Next up, I have my Swiss Beauty Concealer in the shade number 02. Again, you can see how much I have used it up. It's almost empty, and this is the most inexpensive concealer that I have in my collection, and surprisingly I absolutely loved it. I did not expect to love it as much as I do. It's a beautiful concealer, and the doe foot on it is a regular doe foot applicator. It's a super hydrating and a very liquidy formula, but the only con about this is it creases way too much, and you will have to immediately set it after you apply it, otherwise it will crease so badly on you. But the finish on this is absolutely beautiful. It's very hydrating, very beautiful on the skin, does not look too heavy or cakey at all. And I just love the finish on this concealer, and it's a beautiful concealer. For the price that you pay for it, it's a gem at the drugstore. Next up, I have my NYX Bare With Me concealer serum, and I use mine in the shade Vanilla. Now this is the latest launched concealer from NYX. It comes with the Pump to 8, and it's a super hydrating concealer, guys. This has been one of the most raved about concealers in the last year, and it is for a good reason. It will give you a beautiful medium coverage. You can build it up if you want to, but the formula on this is so nice. It's so hydrating. It's so creamy, and it just blends out like a dream. And I just love the finish on this. It will give you such a beautiful hydrating finish and does not, make your under eyes look so dry or cakey or patchy. I mean, it's a blessing for those of you who have a very dry skin. You definitely should try this concealer out, and you will not be disappointed. Last, I have 3 more concealers that are still not available in India. The first one being my Maybelline Superstay concealer, and I use mine in the shade 25. This comes in a squeezy tube like this, but it has a doe foot applicator to it. This will give you a more fuller-ish coverage, but it still does not look too heavy on the skin. It is a bit more drying than the Maybelline Fit Me one, but it still looks beautiful and gives you such a nice flawless finish without looking too heavy on the skin. And once you set it, it will not go anywhere and does not make your under eyes look super heavy or cakey. And I absolutely love this concealer from Maybelline. Second to last, I have my Maybelline Superstay Active Wear concealer in the shade number 25. This again is a concealer that I have absolutely fallen in love with. It is such a beautiful hydrating formula. The doe foot on it is a very thin and a very bendy kind of a doe foot, and trust me guys, if you can get your hands on this, you will absolutely fall in love with this concealer. The Superstay line from Maybelline is supposed to be a bit more heavier and a full coverage one, but this concealer, oh my god, is such a beautiful concealer. It will give you a medium coverage without looking heavy at all. It blends out like a dream. It does not even look like you've applied anything on the skin, and it is such a beautiful hydrating concealer. Just meshes with your skin, and I mean, I absolutely love this concealer from Maybelline. And the last concealer that I have to show you guys is my L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer in the shade 230 Honey Rose. As the name suggests, it's a beautiful radiant concealer. It has a regular doe foot applicator. It will give you such a beautiful hydrated look to the under eyes. It will give you nice medium coverage. You can build it up if you want to, but oh my god, the finish on this concealer is like nothing else. It is such a beautiful skin like concealer. Just meshes with your skin. It will definitely crease because it's a more radiant and a more hydrating concealer, but once you set it, oh my god, it does not even feel like you've applied anything on the skin. It is such a beautiful concealer. L'Oreal, please launch this in India soon, because I mean, you are literally depriving us Indians from this beauty that you have launched. And well, yeah guys, that is it. These were all of my drugstore concealers. I've shown you each and every concealer that I have tried out from the drugstore till date. I hope you guys enjoy watching my videos. If you do, please like and share my videos, and do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye bye.